Every day, millions of students scroll through images that seems too perfect to be real. But behind the likes, filters, and curated profiles lies a growing unease, an invisible pressure that whispers, "You're not good enough." In a world where self-worth is often measured by hearts and shares, how do young people truly see themselves? And what role does social media play in shaping their body image? Good day everyone, I am Dexter Arellano together with Erica Gonzaga and Arjana Lumabao from the University of Southeastern Philippines. Today, we present our study titled Comparing Self-Perceived Body Image Among Students Across Different Social Media Usage Patterns.
Kung mas payat lang sana ako, mas maganda sana tignan.
This thought reflects a growing concern among students today. In a digital world filled with filters and flawless images, social media has become more than a platform for connection, but it is more than a space where comparisons are constant and body image is often distorted. As a Filipino youth that spend over 3 hours daily on platforms like Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and other social media platforms, they are increasingly exposed to unrealistic beauty standards. There are some young adults, young men that are comparing themselves on what they see in these platforms. They are more conscious of how they looks that can lead them to self-doubt, low self-esteem, and negative body perceptions. While not all students are affected equally, the pressure to meet online ideals is real. Our study explores this issue by comparing self-perceived body image among students with different social media usage patterns, aiming to understand whether more screen time truly leads to poorer self-image, or if other factors are at play.
For the statement of the problem, this study aims to compare self-perceived body image among students across different social media usage patterns. Specifically, it aims to answer these key questions. First, what is the profile of the respondents in terms of sex, age group, and average daily social media usage? Second, what is the level of self-perceived body image among students? And lastly, is there a significant difference in self-perceived body image when grouped according to sex, age group, and frequency of social media platforms used? The null hypothesis. The following hypothesis will be tested at the alpha value of 0.05 level of significance. There is no significant difference in self-perceived body image among students when grouped according to gender, when grouped according to age, and when grouped according to the frequency of social media platforms used.
Our research uses a quantitative approach, specifically a descriptive causal comparative design. This kind of design is perfect for when you want to examine difference between groups and explore potential associations, which is exactly what we aim to do with self-perceived body image and social media use. To gather our data, we use two main tools: a body image self-perception scale and a social media usage questionnaire. Once we had our data, we categorize our participants based on a few key factors: their sex, their age, and the primary social media platforms they use, like Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Finally, to figure out if there were any statistically significant difference between this group, we use specific statistical tests. We utilize Kruskal-Wallis age test and the Mann-Whitney U test as these are appropriate for comparing groups in our kind of data.
Theoretical framework. This study is grounded in two psychological theories, the social comparison theory of Pasteur's 1954, which suggests that individuals determine their self-worth by comparing themselves to other people. In the context of social media, students, most often than not, are frequently exposed to idealized and curated images of other people. This constant exposure to the seemingly perfect life of others may lead students to compare themselves negatively to others, especially when they perceive themselves as falling short of the portrayed ideals. Additionally, the self-discrepancy theory of Higgins 1987 suggests that there are three domains of the self, which are the actual self, the ideal self, and the ought self. And discrepancies between the actual self and the ideal self can result in negative emotions such as feeling of dissatisfaction and low self-esteem.
Now, let's dive into some of the existing parts that sheds on the body image and social media. First, what exactly is body image? It's simply how we perceive and think about our own bodies, our shape, size, and appearance. And here's the crucial part. This perception often doesn't match reality. How we feel about our bodies, whether it's pride, shame, or tension, significantly impact our overall mental and emotional health. Studies have been shown a direct link between satisfaction with our bodies and our psychological well-being. Now, let's talk about gender. Research indicates that men and women often experience body image dissatisfaction differently. While women are frequently found to be more dissatisfied with various aspects of their bodies, men can also feel dissatisfaction, especially if they perceive themselves as too thin. Generally, women often desire to be thinner, while men tend to want to be bigger or muscular. So, while the issues exist for both, they manifest in unique ways. Next, the big one, social media. Adolescence is a time of huge change, making young people especially vulnerable to how they perceive themselves. Social media, with its constant stream of curated images from friends, influencers, and celebrities, offers endless opportunities for comparison. This aligns with Festinger's social comparison theory. When teenagers compare themselves to these often idealized or edited versions of reality, it can lead to feelings of inadequacy and dissatisfaction with their own appearance. Studies show that the more time teenagers spend on social media, the greater the risk of negative body thoughts. It's not just about the amount of time spent online, but also the content they're exposed to. Highly edited or filtered photos can significantly lower body satisfaction. Finally, let's touch on social media usage patterns. While more time on social media can be linked to increased body image dissatisfaction, it's also about why individuals are using these platforms. Some use it to unwind or connect, but others use it specifically for social comparison or seeking validation. When social media is used for these detrimental purposes, it can lead to unhealthy attitudes, including body dissatisfaction and even disordered eating. The constant push on social media to present an ideal self, often through filters and edits, only amplifies these feelings of inadequacy.
In the table 1.1, it shows the frequency distribution of students by their sex. Out of 70 participants, 55.7% are female and 44.3% are male. This indicates a slightly higher representation of female respondents in the sample.
This graph represents table 1.2 or the frequency of students in terms of age groups. Now, it can be gleaned from the graph that most of the respondents are coming from the age bracket of 11 to 15 years old, which garnered 41.4%. This is followed by the age bracket of 16 to 18 years old, which garnered 30%, and the age of 19 to 22 years old came in last with a percentage of 28.6.
Table 3.1 indicates the average amount of daily social media usage among 70 respondents. The data indicates that most people, 52.9%, spend social media for 3 to 5 hours per day. A smaller portion, 25.7%, use social media for 1 to 2 hours per day, while just 21.4% use social media for less than 1 hour per day. The cumulative percentage shows that almost half, 47.1% of the respondents spend 2 hours or less on social media, bringing attention to the fact that more than half spend considerable time, 3 to 5 hours a day on social media. This suggests a trend of high engagement with social media platforms among the surveyed individuals.
Table 2.1 presents the level of self-perceived body image among students. On average, the 70 participants had a mean score of 3.10 and a standard deviation of 0.56850. This indicates a moderate positive body image perception among students and relatively consistent responses, respectively.
Table 3.1 presents the test of difference in self-perceived body image between male and female respondents. The p-value of 0.445, which is higher than the 0.05 threshold, indicates that we fail to reject the null hypothesis. It means that there is no significant difference between the different sexes. This implies that both sexes view their body image in a similar way.
Table 3.2 presents a test of difference in self-perceived body image among students across age groups. The p-value of 0.593 indicates that there is no significant difference in self-perceived body image among the different age groups. This could be because as individuals grow older, their perspective on their body image also tend to evolve.
Table 3.3 shows the test of difference used to explore whether self-perceived body image differs depending on how frequently individuals use social media. The test resulted a p-value of 0.284, which is higher than the threshold of 0.05, indicating that the null hypothesis should not be rejected and there is no significant difference between social media frequency among students. This implies that people's perceptions of their own body image do not vary in a meaningful way based on how much time they spend on social media. This could be because there is a growing media literacy among students and they are now more critically aware of the things they consume online.
Contrary to what we might expect, increased social media usage did not statistically affect body image perception. This might be due to growing media literacy or the internalization of realistic standards by some students. It reinforced that the type of content consumed and personal resilience may play a larger role than screen time alone.
Moving on to our recommendations based on what we've learned. Even though our study didn't find significant differences in self-perceived body image across sex, age, or how often students use social media, it's still really important for schools to step up. We highly recommend implementing media literacy programs. These programs can help students become more critical and aware of the appearance-focused content they see online, teaching them to question and analyze what's often highly edited or filtered. For future research, we suggest exploring this topic using longitudinal studies or qualitative methods. This would allow us to understand how body image changes over time and the specific impact of different types of social media content. Finally, it's a team effort. Educational institutions, parents, and mental health advocates need to collaborate. By working together, we can create an environment that actively supports a positive body image and promotes overall psychological well-being among students. Additionally, future studies could look into other factors like peer influence and students' emotional responses to social media to get an even clearer picture.
To end, we go back to our opening thought. In world full of filters, may we help our students filter reality from illusions. Thank you for your time. Once again, I am Rojana Elumaba together with my groupmates Dexter Emariliano and Erica May P. Gonzaga.